I'm not sure about this look right now. I filmed my lipstick video earlier. I had a blue look on and I liked it, but I wanted to change it up, so I threw in a bunch of purple shadows. I just switched over my lipsticks and I'm wearing this pink combo for the first time and I feel kind of clownish. My hair is refusing into middle part at this point. We're just going with it. My name's Hannah and I'm on a mission to have less stuff in my life. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do like a check-in style video every month, but I have things to say this month, so I figured I would. So at the beginning of January, I filmed a video introducing my no online buy, and I'm already kind of changing that. I guess spoiler alert, I did buy things online, but I bought so much less than I would have otherwise. I was going through my orders from December, and from my calculation, I purchased 125 items. That's in addition to the things I asked for Christmas and I received for Christmas. I purchased for myself 125 new items to bring into my life. So the fact that this month, January, I bought 12, it sounds like a lot in terms of being on a no-buy, but for me, I'm still very proud of myself and I think it's an accomplishment. My fear about being too strict with myself, which I was kind of touching on that original video, is that I don't want to scare myself out of changing. And I know different things work for different people. Some people have to be all or nothing. Some people will listen to their rules. But I just feel like for me, I have budgeted before and I've seen errors in that. And I wanted to try to do something that would help me in a bigger way. So telling myself that I'm not shopping, even if I am a little bit, it's helped me tremendously filter out the things that I don't truly love. And I think I will get better at this throughout the year. There's probably some things that I bought this month that I didn't really need, but if I'm buying 12 items and, eventually decluttering one or two of them, that's so much better than bringing over 100 new items into my life in the course of a month. One of my issues when I was budgeting is I felt like I was nickel and diming myself. I felt like the money was like a hole burning in my pocket, and like right off the bat into the month, I wanted to spend it and I wanted to find things to want, and I was diving into online shopping right away. And that's kind of just how I am. And I'm working on that. I don't want to rely on that as an excuse, being like, oh, that's just who I am. But I know with myself that if you tell me I have this much money to spend, even if it's over the course of 30 days and it's going to kind of happen naturally over those 30 days, I feel like right off the bat, I want to curate my selection of purchases for the month. And then another thing that I feel like I was doing through the course of that was going cheap, because I was trying to save money for the next thing to come around. I was always in anticipation of something else coming that I wanted, so I would try to go cheap and get little items earlier in the month, and I felt like with budgeting I was accumulating too much even so. So still, the financial aspect, it's not perfect. I'm not rich, but that's so much less of an issue for me than accumulating mounds of crap is. Because at this point, my issue is less so my bank account and more so all my stuff. And I know that's different for a lot of people, but it's really at this point the stuff number that's making me go, I can't live like this. And also, along with the financial constraints, I would rather bring a couple nice things into my life than make a whole order of cheaper things from a fast fashion brand just because it's cheaper. And it's a slippery slope. I feel like I'm getting more into expensive things and it's kind of scaring me. But I think these things I think about harder because I'm spending more at once on them. And then I do end up feeling like I value them more than I value a whole stack of Fashion Nova items at once. In the past, maybe in months that I wasn't budgeting, but I would easily spend $100 at Forever 21 and $100 at Fashion Nova in a month. And at this point, I'd rather spend $200 on one thing. I will say, moving forward into February, I do want to try to chill a little bit on the spending. I was never big on Afterpay, but I started using it back in November when I was aware that I was going to start this project in the coming year. And I was trying to manage my finances in such a way that I wouldn't hit my credit limit. And then I did a lot of Afterpay purchases right at the end of the year for my panic buys. And then this month when they're popping up, it is getting kind of overwhelming. I feel like I'm a very financially minded person. I usually have a good grasp on how my finances are looking. But when it comes to Afterpay, it feels like it's just hitting you one after another, especially when you have a lot of them at once. I think there is some value if you just want to make one big purchase on Afterpay and, you know, you're aware of that, you're monitoring it, you're expecting it. But when you do a lot of purchases, it does become overwhelming. And then this month I did make a couple big purchases on Afterpay as well. So in February, I do want to try to curb the spending a little bit and see where that takes me. Another reason that I'm not beating myself up for the purchases is that a lot of them were secondhand. So I bought 12 items this month. 4 of them were purchased in a thrift store. 6 of them were purchased secondhand online. 2 of them being reworked vintage, which I think is kind of cool. One of them's an eyeshadow from an indie brand, and one of them is from a European brand that I can't find that much information on. I know it's women-owned. Not sure if you'd call it a small business or not. I'm not sure what the criteria for that is, but I'm happy that it's not a major evil corporation. I'm pretty sure it's not that. And I'm gonna film another video once the 2 purchases that I'm still waiting on come in, and I'm gonna show you everything that I got. The other day, I was looking at the purchases on my phone and I was kind of thinking about what led me to buy them so that I could examine what my triggers are and what's leading me to buy things in the first place. And I realized that for the most part with these this month, I went looking for them. So I can't blame ads this time. There's one that I had been thinking about a lot before the month started, and I did kind of half plan on buying it. 2 of them were from a vintage website, which I frequent, and I went on it looking. And then I saw they had a 25% off and I went for it. And a couple of them were from long, deep holes of searching. The indie shadow I saw on Instagram, that one I feel like is really a non-issue. I'm pretty happy about that. And even the other ones, I don't think they're an issue. We'll talk more about the specific items again in the next video, but when I sat down to film the video saying that I was going to try to do no online shopping, I feel like I'm not disappointing her. You know, I'm not trying to be super hard on myself. I'm not trying to deprive myself of happiness. I'm just trying to create an environment where I can live and I can appreciate my things. I should mention as well that I did go through some clothes that I already have. I got rid of about 30 items this month, and even I returned a couple items that I had purchased in December that I was still within the return policy, and I kind of had a revelation of, I don't need this. There was a pair of Nike sneakers that I had got from Amazon in December, and they were pink and red and orange, and I thought they were really cool, but I do a lot of thinking about my favorite items from every category. It's kind of just like an exercise in thinking about what I have instead of just always fantasizing about what I don't have. And it occurred to me that if I were to keep 5 sneakers, those wouldn't be one of them. And then I was like, all right, what if I was going to keep 10 sneakers? And that wouldn't be one of them. And then I felt like it's not that I love them right now, but I'm scared that if I get rid of them, then I'm going to want them in the future. And that is such a sick way of thinking because I'm not helping anyone. I can't live my life full of clutter because I'm scared of potentially in the future having a pang of, oh, I wish I had that. So I was pretty proud of myself that I brought them over to UPS and I sent them back. That's something that I want to continue to be mindful of because at this point I have enough of everything. I can't think of anything that would come up that I would be like, I really need that unless for some reason I get a job where my work clothes aren't professional enough, for example. But otherwise, I have so much and I have so much good stuff that there is no reason for me to bring something in unless I'm obsessed with it, unless I'm crazy about it. And clearly I'm still making online purchases, but I need to remember to be mindful and think, if I was in the store right now, would I take these sneakers to the register? Would I stand online for 20 minutes? Would I be so excited to get home and try them on and try outfits on with them? I have to remember that online shopping is so successful for businesses because once you receive it, the default is keeping it. When you're in store, the default is it's not yours yet and you have to go through more effort to take it home. But when you buy it online, it's more effort to return it. And if there's something that I'm in store and I'm so about, it's so much easier for me then to walk out than it is for me at home to then print out a return label and package it up and bring it to the post office or bring it to the mall and stand online and go through all that, finding my receipt. And I need to not fall into these traps. It has to be worth it to me. And someone else that needs items might not be in the same boat, But for me, I don't need anything. And if it's not the most amazing thing that I've seen, why would I have it? I can already feel a shift in myself. I had 2 instances this month where I went on a fast fashion website and I filled up my cart and then I walked away from it. And this might sound stupid, but it was so empowering. I had unsubscribed from my texts from Urban Outfitters and from my emails from Urban Outfitters, but I still get emails from Rakuten. And Rakuten knows my buying habits, and it sent me an email, and it said in the subject, Urban Outfitters 50% off sale. And those 50% off sales are always what gets me. And from that, I unblocked all the shopping websites from my phone. I went on the website. I went through about 30 pages of sale. I opened a tab of everything that I liked. I went through it. I added my size to the cart. I went to my cart. I took out a couple things that I didn't need. And then I was looking at it and I was like, I don't want to buy any of this stuff. And I got out of it. I had a similar experience with Forever 21 where I went through so many pages of sale and made a cart, and I was so close to purchasing. I narrowed it down to 2 items that I really wanted. One of them was this purple top that kind of matched my nails. I'm obsessed with this color. This is Pootylicious from Color Club, by the way. And I feel like it's like this really pretty like bubblegum purple, I want to call it. And I found a top that was this color. And then the other thing were these brown knee-high flat boots. And my brown knee-high boots are heels. And even though they're comfortable, they would still be more comfortable if they were flat boots. But as I was looking at this cart and thinking I could spend $30, including shipping, and get these 2 items, I was trying to remember that these aren't the best in my categories. Those boots are not going to be my favorite boots. That top is not my favorite top just because I like the color. Liking the color doesn't mean I need to buy it. The fact that I could use it doesn't mean I need to buy it. And as I'm telling myself that these boots are going to be practical because I'll be able to get more use out of them because they don't have a heel, I'm remembering I'm barely using any of my stuff as it is. So it's not like I'm in a situation where I'm constantly putting on outfits and wanting to wear the brown boots and then thinking, ugh, they have a heel, I don't want to wear them. I'm making up these scenarios that make buying the item make sense. And at the end of the day, these scenarios aren't real. These aren't applicable to my life. Sure, if I was someone else that did a lot of things and wore those brown heeled boots a lot and had complaints about them, maybe it would be good. But for me, I know that if I were to whittle down my boots collection more, those wouldn't make the cut in a year. And it was kind of tough to walk away from that cart because I did want it. But I think that's the thing about this process, that I'm so used to telling myself yes and letting myself have it because I want it, that of course it's going to be uncomfortable to tell myself I can't have what I want. But that's the whole point of this process, that I can't let my little manipulative shopping brain talk me into getting whatever I want. I'm an adult. I have to tell that little brain no, because I know better. So I think that's everything I wanted to touch on. I'm sorry this is all over the place. I just had a lot of thoughts I wanted to get out. I look forward to filming about the things that I bought. I am really excited about all of them. I'm proud of myself that nothing's fast fashion. I'm proud of myself for not going overboard. And I hope and plan for February to have it be even more tailored than it was in January, because I feel like even right now, I'm at a better place with my shopping philosophy than I was even 2 or 3 weeks ago. I hope you enjoyed. If you wanted to stick around to see this journey, that would be awesome. I would really appreciate that. I'll have my what I purchased in January video up as soon as these items come in, hopefully in a couple days. And that's everything. Bye.